Hi, I'm Wouter, also known as Razastrophe, and today in this IGM review we're going to take a closer look at a game called Oregon Trail made by the men who wear many hats. It's available on different platforms such as iOS and Android, but we're currently taking a look at the PC version. Oregon Trail, as the name already implies, is an homage to Oregon Trail, where you drive a wagon of settlers from east to west coast of America. This time, however, it's set in a post-apocalyptic setting after a zombie outbreak took over the world. You have to fight your way from east to west coast through hordes of zombies and hope that you and your four companions survive. As soon as you start the campaign, you're introduced to the shooting mechanics. It can take a bit of time getting used to, as the click and drag aiming can be a bit tricky at first. However, it's kind of crucial that you get the hang of it if you want to survive throughout the game. But it is well introduced with the rest of the mechanics in the game. Following an NPC called Clemens, you'll go through the main screens you'll see in the game so you'll know what to do and what to expect, and you'll end up with your friends, which of course you can name. After getting your supplies of food, gas, ammunition, and spare car parts, you'll then set off for your adventure across America. This is the screen you'll see the most throughout the game. It feels a bit slow at times, but the mini-render events do keep it from being boring. Whether it's a stray bullet, a disease, one of the mini collectible gravestones with a green hand popping out to claw your face off, or simply a gang of bandits on bikes that you have to ram to the ground to avoid being shot dead. Remarkably though, how bashing your car repeatedly into motorbikes doesn't hurt your car, while hitting a zombie does. But if you manage to get through all that in one piece, you'll arrive at Pittsburgh, the first of many cities to come. These outposts work as hubs where you can rest and stock up, so if there is something you need, this is your chance. Do keep an eye out though, each outpost has different items and different prices. And if you'd rather not pay for that, or just simply don't have the money for it, you can still do jobs to earn some money or supplies. They're kind of like mini-games, where you for example shoot bandits or retrieve a lost object while fighting off zombies. They come in different difficulties, and they can be a nice distraction from the driving, to be honest. Or what you can do as well is, you can go scavenging for some loot. Fans of Oregon Trail will recognize this base concept and will probably love it. You'll get a small instance, and you have to collect your supplies. But instead of shooting animals, you collect items laying on the floor and shoot zombies. Although I've seen some rabid dogs and worse in these random boss fights in this area. Overall, the gameplay is very similar to Oregon Trail, and you can see clearly that the developers did their best to keep the authenticity of the original game, but gave it their own personality and added their own touch. Like, for example, you might remember the agony and fear as you crossed rivers in Oregon Trail. Well, they're back. This time, however, you have to try to get your car through an army of zombies and have to decide what way the best way to do it is. It's great how Oregon Trail can give you the feel you're playing one of the old games, and with the 8-bit art style and music, it can really pull you into it. The music is kind of rocky, but you can still feel the influence of the old game music in there, and it works really well in the style and genre of the game. And like in its genre, in zombie games, throughout the game, you'll have the risk of getting bitten by a zombie and becoming infected. That's obviously something you'll want to avoid. You don't instantly turn, so when one of your friends has been bitten, you can still try to keep them around since they are your friend, or just to increase your score. But if you want to end their suffering, or you just plain don't like someone, you can always... Sorry, Tom. The amount of detail that is put in the game shows quite well. As you can see right here as well, without Tom around, there's actually one person less around the campfire. And you'll consume less food. The same thing happens when driving, where you can see, for example, the weather and a day-night cycle, which will affect your driving style and behavior of the zombies, since they seem more aggressive at night. Also, take a look in the areas. You might actually recognize some hidden references. All in all, the game has a lot more to offer than it might seem at first. With upgrades, tons and tons and tons of random events, team management, minigames, boss fights, collectibles, achievements, leaderboards. For $5, I believe Oregon Trail to be worth it, and I think you do get bang for your buck. And you should take a look at it. You won't regret saving or murdering your best friends, especially if you get to the credits. They're pretty original and they're actually fun to go through. And if you still feel like the game is too slow-paced, go play Clement's Quest, a little bonus game in the extras, where you basically do the entire trip but much faster and smash zombies as you go. It's pretty amusing, even though it's really tiny. All this definitely adds up to the replayability, and I would like to give this game a solid 70 out of 100. So there you have it, Oregon Trail. And remember, if you want to see more reviews and let's tries of indie games, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I'll see you next time here on IGM.